I'm hungry. It's noon, but I haven't had breakfast. I haven't had any coffee, so like, if you see me drinking coffee, I'm sorry. Look at my cute mug though. Hi, hey, hello, how are you doing? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're in a different location because I am on spring break while I'm filming this, so hi, welcome back to my room in a different location. What up? Today I am doing a video that I have like become obsessed with recently on YouTube, where basically I just have fallen into a rabbit hole that just keeps going, where it's just roasting the zodiac signs. And if you know me, you know that like, I don't know why, but like I'm super into astrology. Like I don't really know if it's like completely real. I think sometimes, I don't know, it's like, I think some of it's kind of real because like sometimes like the signs are all very similar. Like the people that I meet that are like all like, I don't know, Geminis, they're all like kind of similar, and like all the Libras I know are kind of similar. So like I don't know if it has any real factual bias, that's not the word. I don't know if it has any real like factual, I don't know if it has like a factual foundation, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I don't know, but like I don't know, I find it fun. I think it's crazy. But like I found out I was a Cancer moon, and I was like so upset because like Cancers are kind of like crybabies, but like I mean it makes a lot of sense. Like they're very dramatic, and I feel like that's where I get a lot of my drama from, because like if you know me, I will like melt down over the smallest things and like throw a fit over it, and I'm like, why am I like I will think, I'm like, why am I doing this? Like this is stupid. Like, I'm literally crying and upset over nothing. But, like, I found I was a Cancer moon. I was like, that makes a lot of sense. So, I'm only roasting the, like, sun signs. So, I also want to preface this with the fact that these are just, like, purposefully, like, this is, like, the worst things that I find about the signs. But also, like, there are a lot of things I do like about the signs. Like, if I upset you, I'm very sorry. I'm not like purposely out here trying to be like, oh my gosh, like I hate specifically like this one person. Like that's not it. I just find these videos funny, and please don't take it personally. I mean, I also, like I said, have a lot of things I like about the signs, and I kind of want to make a video about that too, about the things I like about the signs, since this one is kind of like negative. Make a positive video where like it's about, you know, the great things about the signs, because like I have a lot of those too. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, first up is Aries. My mom is an Aries, so like, I also wanted to say that like, I find that there's like two very specific types of the signs, and it's like, you know, like the jokes of like the evolved versus unevolved. I feel like it's kind of like that because my mom is more like an evolved Aries, but I also know another Aries who is not as evolved. But like, what are you gonna do? Okay, so the first thing I have about Aries is that they have literally no chill. Like, none at all. They go 0 to 100 really quick, and it's like, I just see them like, what has just happened? Like, everything was fine a minute ago. Or like, my mom has a story of like when she was a teenager where like, she just wanted to see how fast her car could go, and I'm like, what? Like, because that's so not my mom now. But like, the other Aries I know, like, he's very much like that, so I'm like, that makes sense. Aries, I also think of like the daredevil of the group, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but like, chill. Like, they have zero regard for their own well-being, which is why I had them as like the daredevil. And I'm like, bruh, you're gonna like get yourself killed one day because you don't care. And the other Aries I know, I swear one time on his Snapchat someone died. Like, I swear that he just like filmed his friend dying. I don't know, but like he was unconscious and he started vomiting, and they had been drinking, and I was like, did you just like let your friend die? But like, so no regard for their well-being, sometimes no regard for like other people's well-being. So I'm like, get it together, you know? Like, can't relate. They will like fight you on literally anything, and you're like, the sky is blue, and they're like, no, it's green, and you're like, no, it's literally blue, and like they just want to fight, so they're like, no, it's freaking green, and I'm like, you know what? Cool. Okay, if you want to believe the sky is green, believe the sky is green. Aries to me are so closed off. Like, their emotions are like, they won't show you anything until you get like, you have to like dig and dig and dig, and then finally like if they start to trust you, like they'll let you in a bit. But like, my mom is my mom, and she's still, like, closed off. Like, she very much doesn't let, like, anyone, like, in emotionally. Like, she lets, like, me and my sister in because, like, we're her kids. And she probably lets, like, her sister in, but, like, no, she's so just like, nope, no one's gonna get in here. All of my emotions are right here. It's like the John Mulaney quote of, like, the Irish person who is like, I keep all my emotions right here, and one day I'll die. Like, that's my mom. And I feel like that's a lot of other Aries. Like, the other Aries I know, super closed off. Like, he is like, you look at him and you're like, are you like a stone? Like, are you a statue? Like, not like he stands still, but like, you know, like, not still, but like, you know how like statues like don't have like emotions and they're just very like, like, that was an awful example, but like that's kind of how it is. And like, everyone kind of has an issue with him. It's probably because he's an Aries. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I mean, he let me in like this much, and like, I feel hashtag blessed because like, I don't think most other people have gotten that far, and I was like, lit. Thanks, bruh. And then the last thing I have about Aries is that they're the second most dramatic fire sign. I find all the fire signs to be a bit, like, dramatic, but I think Aries places second because, like, they're kind of dramatic, but they're not, like, as dramatic as a Leo, but we'll get into that later. Okay, so the second sign is the Taurus, and two of my best friends are Tauruses, so, like, if y'all are watching, this isn't anything personal, but this is just something that I've noticed that either one of you or both of you have done, and sometimes it annoys me. And based off of, like, other Tauruses that, like, I know, but, like, again, I'm not trying to personally attack anyone. Please don't get upset. Taurus is literally the most stubborn sign ever. Like, I don't get it. Like, they're so freaking stubborn. Like, I love them to death because, like I said, two of my best friends are Tauruses, but, like, why are you so stubborn? I don't understand. Like, it's like your way or it's the highway, and it's like, cool. I love having the same conversation about something and then you stick to the same, like, what you're doing. Cool. Love it. Which goes into my second point is that they won't listen to anything that you have to say. Like, ever. And it's because they think they're always right. And I'm like, you're literally not, but like, cool. They'll come to you for advice about a situation and they'll be like, yeah, like, they like will kind of listen and like they'll at least pretend they're listening, but then like they repeat what happened or they won't take your advice that they came to you for, and then 2 weeks later they're coming to you for the same thing, and it's like you do it again and you repeat the cycle and eventually like, it'll break, but like it takes a while and you're like, we've literally had this conversation like 5 times already, but like, cool. Love it. I'm like, if you listened to what I had to say the first time, we wouldn't be in this situation, you know? But and again, that goes back to the fact that I think that they're so stuck in the fact that they are always right. And I have one friend who does this more than the other. But, like, one of my best friends is more of, like, the evolved Taurus, whereas the other one is not as evolved. And I have been in that before. I'm like, why aren't you listening to me? And the last thing I have about the Taurus is that they're, like, really sensitive to when you tell them that they're wrong and they disagree, and, like, you disagree with them on a point because they think they're right. So they get really sensitive about it. And, like, they get upset with you from time to time. And you're like, I'm sorry we have a different viewpoint, but, like, what? Like, why are you upset just because I don't agree with you, you know? I don't know. I don't get it. But I do love my Taurus friends. Y'all are great. Most of the time. So the third sign is the Gemini. And I have a long freaking list for Gemini. But like, it's just because Geminis are freaking insane. That's the very first point. I have it in all caps. Is that they are freaking insane. My 8-year-old sister is a Gemini and she's kind of crazy. Like, I love her to death. But she's freaking wild. Like, she's so insane. And like, I don't get it. We have a joke with my dad, me and my older sister, that we like had been reading up on like her birth sign one time because he has like this huge book about it, and what they were describing about her and like the day she was born and like being a Gemini, and he's like, great, so I'm gonna have a daughter who's like 30 living in my basement making crazy YouTube videos. Cool. Sorry, Dad, you have one who's 21 who's not living in your basement but is making YouTube videos. But my second point is that like, they're actually, like, to me, they are the craziest sign in the zodiac. I don't know what it is about them. They just have, like, this chaotic energy that, like, radiates off of them. Every single Gemini I have met or that I know has this energy, and it's just like, it's radiating off of them. They just are so chaotic. Like, if every Gemini came together, they could probably like burn the world down because of that energy. I feel like a lot of celebrities are Geminis. I don't know if that's just me or if that's just the celebrities that like I watch or like. But Tom Holland is a Gemini, and Tom Holland radiates that same chaotic energy, but also like my goal is just to be like his best friend. And my sister says that it would be awful because I apparently also radiate some sort of like chaotic energy, and she says that we would radiate too much and probably end the world. I mean, he's kind of crazy. Like, have you noticed that he's like kind of insane, but like we stand, you know? It's like a good crazy. I'm not saying like every Gemini has like a bad crazy, like, or that because they're so I'm not saying like insane as like a psychopath, like killer or something. They're just like kind of crazy because of their chaotic energy, you know? Chris Evans is also a Gemini. Found that out. And like, you might be thinking, but like Chris Evans isn't like that like crazy seeming. Okay, I saw this interview, and it was like asking like all the people who were like on the Avengers set like who the biggest prankster was, and they were all like Chris Evans, and like everyone said, and they asked Chris, he goes, like I don't really think anyone is.
I don't know. I don't think there's a troublemaker on set.
Chris Evans.
See, he didn't answer.
He didn't? It's because it's him.
So he's like low-key chaotic energy. Maybe he's more like the evolved Gemini. I don't know. The last one like is another story, but like my sister and I have a friend whose brother is a Gemini, and he's in jail, so like, but also, as like a personal thing, everything says that a Libra and a Gemini are like the best match for each other, so like maybe that's why I don't mind the chaotic energy and why I have my own, is because I'm supposed to work best with a Gemini, so like I don't know what that says about me, but like I'm looking forward to it, you know? Hopefully I end up marrying a Gemini just so I can like see how like the chaotic energy flows, you know? It'll be fun. The next sign in the zodiac is Cancer. I have Cancer friends. My sister's boyfriend, who like I love dearly, he's like a brother to me, is a Cancer. But like, Cancer's the crybaby of the zodiac sign. I feel like that's why I was trying to be like, I love them. Because like, the thing I just say first was kind of mean. They're literally the crybaby. Like, they will cry over anything. You say one like minor thing and like they take it as a personal affront, and like they'll be mad at you and cry over it, and you're like, cool. I don't know, maybe they like a granola bars and like I don't or something. And I'll be like, oh, I just don't. And like they'll offer me one and be like, no, like I just don't like it. And they'll act like I just caused World War III against them. And I'm like, are you good, fam? Like, and like they'll pretend like I'm fine. And you're like, clearly you're not, but like Gucci. Love that. Cancer's another one of those signs that like ask you for advice when they're upset. Or like about something that's upsetting them, and then like you'll say something and they'll be like, yeah, like you're right, I need to like change it, and then like they'll repeat the behavior that they came to you for that was upsetting them, and then the situation just like continually repeats. It's kind of like the Taurus, where like you had to repeat the situation, but like in this one they're like listening to you and they're like, yes, like you're right, like I need to do this, whereas like the Taurus is like, no, like you're wrong, but like cool. Cancer will like literally be like, yeah, you're right, like I need to change my behavior, and then like they don't, and you're in the same situation, and you're like, if you freaking listen to me, like maybe we wouldn't be in the situation, but like cool, go live your life, like live your worst life, I don't care at this point, you know? Cancers are really moody, which is probably like why I get moody, because I have the Cancer moon, but like here we are. Yeah, like they just get so moody, and you're like, they'll be like happy, and then 2 hours later, like, you haven't spoken to them, and, like, you are like, hey, like, sorry, I was busy, like, what's up, like, I just saw your text, and, like, they'll be acting, like, so upset, so angry, and, like, I don't get it, but, like, I mean, I do on some level, because, like, me, but they're really dramatic. They, like I said earlier, they just will literally get upset over nothing, or, like, everything's a personal affront. I think it's the water sign thing. I've noticed this about a lot of water signs. It's like they take things as just like a personal attack on them, and you're like, chill out, man. Like, chill the frick out. I have this down because my sister and I were talking about it, to like talk about like what each sign is and like what their like kind of worst thing is about them. And we said that like Cancers are kind of like the alcoholics of the like zodiac signs, because I know a lot of Cancers who just really like to drink, and I'm like, are you good? Like, are you trying to drown out, like, the sadness or the drama or, like, the moodiness? Like, what's up? Because, like, not everyone, but a lot of the Cancers I know really like to drink. Not saying that it's a bad thing, but like there are times where I get really worried because I'm like, fam, you're bordering like alcoholism at this point, but like live your life. The next sign is the Leo. My sister, my older sister, and my dad are both Leos. If you've noticed, I am surrounded by fire signs my whole life. My mom, my dad, my sister. My little sister is also an air sign, so like maybe that's why like I connect with her because we're both air signs. I say that because the second best sign apparently for a Libra to be with is a Leo. And like, thank God that if I end up with a Leo, I've been surrounded by fire signs my whole life, so at least I know what to handle. But anyway, going back to roasting the Leo. Leos literally think that they're the best thing since sliced bread, and it's like, no fam, you're not, because sliced bread is great because I don't have to cut it, because when I cut bread, it's awful and jagged, and like, and Leos have like the biggest ego. Like of every zodiac sign, they have the biggest ego, and if you try and like if you damage it in any way, you're dead to them. Like KO, it's over. Never try to come back into their life, kind of thing. They also absolutely love to be the center of attention, and like I can relate, but also like chill. I saw this like meme about it, and it was like about the Leo, and it was like someone else gets like attention, and it's like me as a Leo, and it like pushes something off and like tries to get the attention of someone and like pushes everything off the shelf and be like, oops, was that me? Because then like the attention's back on them, sort of thing. Which like I find that to be pretty true. Leos love to talk about themselves, like they just do. If you ever get in a conversation with them and like you don't know what else to talk about, turn the conversation back over to them. They will go on for like at least an hour about something about themselves. And like they'll like throw in something like, oh, like what is this about you? But like really I think it's more to be polite. Leos, my sister said this because I was asking her, because I was like, I mean, tell me about like what you think the worst things about your sign are. And she said that like Leos can't be friends with other Leos because there's way too much competition between the two. Because of the fact that at the next point, they're really competitive. So when you put two Leos who are both hecka competitive and then like stick them in together, it's not gonna work because they're both gonna try to like outcompete the other, and it's gonna end like disastrously. I think sometimes that's why like I just can't be in the same like vicinity as both my sister and my dad, like if we're playing a game, because my entire life growing up, whenever we played board games, they would always like go at each other, and I was like in the middle, and I was like, guys, like it's okay, it's just a game, and like they were like, no, it's like life or death sort of thing. And so I've always kind of been the one to be like, okay, and then like I would purposely sometimes like drop out of Monopoly, like lose my money and be like, okay, here you go, like I don't want to play anymore because this is getting like way too competitive. And they would just like try to outcompete each other. And one time we were playing, my dad literally, my sister was about to win, and my dad sent us to bed because he didn't want to lose. He will tell you otherwise, but like, again, the two Leo thing doesn't work. And like when you get them together, it's also just like a lot sometimes because it's just a lot of Leo energy, and it's like, bam, cool it. They also, for me, like what I've noticed, my sister says this isn't true, and she's a Leo, so like maybe I should have listened to her on it, but like, to me, a lot of Leos that I know, they feel like everything at once, or they feel like nothing at all. And I'm like, okay, this is cool, this is fine. When I said that to her, she said that's a lie, and that she feels one thing for certain, and that it is annoyance. So, and it was annoyance at me saying that. So like, I feel like I should just move on from Leo because she's editing this and I don't want to piss her off, you know? The next sign is the Virgo. And my very first point that I have written about Virgos is that they're kind of crazy. Like, they're not as crazy as like a Gemini is, but like, they're still like kind of crazy. And like, I don't know if it's like the same chaotic energy really, but, or if it's just like craziness. My best friend, who I have been best friends with since I was literally like in diapers, is a Virgo. And like, I love her to death, and I think her craziness is amazing, and I love it, and like I aspire to have it, but like sometimes it's a bit like much. Virgos though are really, really good at hiding the crazy. You only see the crazy like once you get in. Like on the surface, they seem really cool, calm, collected, like nothing in the world gets to them, that they're just like every other person. And then like you get to know them and you like dive deeper into who they are, and like the crazy comes out, and you're like, you're either gonna love it or you're gonna be like terrified of it. Like there's no in between. You either love their crazy or you don't. They're very secretive. Like, I don't know what it is about them, but like they're very good at keeping secrets. They don't want to like let you in on like certain aspects of their life, and they just like keep a really big shield up, or like they'll be really secretive about certain things that like make no sense, like no one's secretive about, but like they'll be really secretive about it. And like, it's like, They also can be like really shifty, but if you call them out on being like secretive or shifty, they will like flip shit. I didn't want to say it because like this is like a family friendly channel, but like that's like the best way I could put it, you know? I'm not saying this about my best friend. Both of my grandmas are also Virgos, and like they're the ones who do this more often. It's like if you ever try and call them out on being like secretive about something, they just will like go off on like, they'll be so angry about it and like at you and won't talk to you for like a month, and you're like, cool. Like, all I wanted to know was like why you were keeping it a secret. Like, we all know about it, but like, go off. Odd flex, but okay. I also have a 9-year-old cousin. Yeah, my like 9-year-old cousin is a Virgo, and like she's crazy. Like, she's just wild. She's just like crazy and wild in like not a great way. And to go with like their secretiveness, like to go back to that, they are either liars by omission or they will straight up lie to you. And it's like, what? Like, my grandmothers are like liars by omission, but like my cousin is like, she'll straight up lie to you about something. One time I was babysitting her with my older sister, and like we had fudge, and like she like ate 3 pieces of like chocolate fudge, and then she like looked at us and she goes, I'm allergic to chocolate. And we were like, what? And then like we told my grandma about it later, and she was like, that girl's like not allergic to chocolate. She's like, I've watched her put away like 3 chocolate cupcakes in the past and nothing's happened. So she's like, she's not allergic to chocolate. And like she's like lied about other things, and you're like, why? Like, why are you lying about this? Like, it's literally no big deal. I don't get it. I don't know if it's like a attention thing or like what. And then I find that like Virgos are kind of split, where like half of Virgos are like manipulative, and then the other half aren't. I don't know. If you find that too, maybe it's just my experience with certain Virgos. I don't know. Now we're on to me, like, clearly the best sign. No, I'm kidding. We're on to Libra now. And technically I'm a Virgo Libra cusp, but like I feel like I have more traits of like a Libra, but whatever. The very first thing I have to say about myself and every other Libra that I know is we are indecisive as frick. You ask us to make a simple choice, it'll be like, what should I wear today? And we're like, I don't know, like, even in, like, we know the weather, like, well, you could wear this, well, you could also wear this. Or you ask us to where we want to go to eat, we're like, I don't know, like, I kind of want to go here, but, like, I don't know, maybe here, and then, like, we're like, I don't know. Like, we cannot make a decision to save our lives. Like, you could hold us at gunpoint, and we would still probably be like, I don't know, like, I can't make this decision. And, like, I don't know if it's the fact that, like, we're the scales, and we want to keep things balanced, but, like, we cannot make a decision literally to save our life. Like, you hold us at gunpoint, like I said, and we'll still be like, I don't know. So I think that's like literally one of the most annoying things about me and every other Libra. It's just like, we can't make a decision. And I know it annoys everyone. It annoys myself that I can't make a decision, but like, here we are. Libras fall in love at like the drop of a hat, and then we'll be over it within like 2 weeks. Done. Over. And I don't know what it is. I think what it is, and I think this is also kind of a bad thing, is that Libras are in love with the idea of love. But as soon as like we get a taste of it, we're like, no, it's over, can't do it, don't want it anymore. And I think that's honestly like a really, really bad thing about Libras, is that like we love every person that like we'll come in contact with. We're like, oh my gosh, like what if they're the one? And like they're not. We just need, I think part of it is we need attention, and part of it is that we just genuinely love the idea of having love, but we don't want to put, I think, the effort into it, and I think that's really bad. I know personally that's like it for me, and I also know other Libras who like are in a relationship, and then as soon as the relationship's over, they're in another relationship. And it's literally because I think Libras are constantly kind of looking for like someone to fill like a void. I don't know what the void is, but like I feel like that's literally what it is, so that we're always like, okay, well, like maybe this person's the one, maybe this person's the one, maybe this person's the one, and then like we're over it and we're like, not really feeling you anymore, sort of thing. Like I said earlier, Libra can be really moody, and I don't know if that's a Libra thing or if that's just a me thing because I have a Cancer moon, but like, I don't know. I know a lot of other like Libras who are like pretty moody. We'll be like fine 1 minute, and then we just, I don't even know what it is, but like we'll be like, it's over, it's done, can't, nope. Libras to me are the basic white girls of the zodiac sign, And some of you be like, that's not really a roast, but like it kind of is, because everyone makes fun of like the basic white girls. We're the ones who love pumpkin spice lattes and like every other like very basic thing that you can think of. Like that's us. That's the Libra. We love the things that are like currently in, and I think that's why like I kind of label us as the basic white girls, is because we love the like trendy things that are currently in, but as soon as they're done, we're like, it's over, next. Libras can be really, really materialistic, and it's because we like the finer things in life and we have like expensive taste, but I think that translates a lot to materialistic, even if sometimes like you're not intentionally trying to be. I think it just comes from the fact that like we like the finer things in life. But I think Libras definitely have like the name of being materialistic because of that. And I think a lot of times like we can be really materialistic and we're like, okay, well like I want this to be, you know, and on trend, or I want this because it's like expensive, or I just want this. And I think as I've grown up, like I've gotten to be less like that. I think it's also because a lot of clutter like gives me anxiety for some reason. So like I've kind of grown out of that more. Like I definitely can still be like really materialistic. I'm not saying I'm not. And I think that's the thing that like Libras are probably going to have for like as long as they're alive, is that they always have a bit of you that's like kind of materialistic and like craves for like nice things, or craves just like things. Like I said, I think it's something like you kind of grow out of as you get older. Libras can also be really, 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 really vain. Like, I don't even know how many reallys that was, but like, we can be so incredibly vain from time to time. Especially, not always about other people, but especially about ourselves. Like, a Libra is probably like the most common person that you'll not pass, but like you'll see, and they're gonna be the ones who are like looking in the mirror all the time, or at reflective surfaces. I'm so guilty of that. I pass a reflective surface and I have to look at myself. I pass a mirror, have to look at myself. And I think sometimes that leads to like not image issues, but like we really love ourselves is, I think, another thing that like can be roasted about them, is that we love ourselves so much that like it's also really vain. Like it's incredibly vain, and I know that. Like I know I can be so vain, both about myself and other people. Like I'm so picky about like who I like and who I want to date, and it's a very vain thing. Like if I went into all that, like you'd be like, oh my gosh, Amanda, like that's like not a great personality trait. And like I know that, and I'm trying to get better about it, but Libras are like the low-key crazy. Like we are definitely low-key crazy, and I admit that, and I think that's why I'd probably get along well with Geminis, and why like I would be fine like being with a Gemini. And it's because like I'm low-key cweasy to their high-key crazy. Libras are also the low-key crazy because you don't recognize it right away, but like once you like get to know them, like we're pretty crazy, so date me. Libras never shut up. Libras really like to talk. Like if you get me and another Libra in the same room and we're both like comfortable, like we have to warm up and then we never shut up. And that's what I've noticed. Like once you warm up to a Libra and they get like close to you, they love to talk. And like bruh, like sometimes I sit there and I'm like, Amanda, like you should really shut up. Like I think it to myself, but like I just can't. It's because I think part of it goes back to vain, because I like to hear the sound of my voice. Like I'm not joking. And I know that about a lot of other Libras, is that we just really like to talk, and I think part of it is literally because we like to hear the sound of our voice. So Libras are also like pretty closed off from emotion. Like you'll hear us refer to as like the lover sign because we're like ruled by Venus or like whatever, but most of the Libras I know are like very, very closed off from like having like emotion. I think that's a part of the reason why like a lot of Libras like jump from relationship to relationship or crush to crush, is because like I think a part of it is like we get there, and then like if that person ever starts to reciprocate, we're like and like we can't handle it, and we're like, ooh, I need to like back off, and like we kind of like have a wall where it's just kind of like, ooh, I don't know if I want to do this. And Libras are like the low-key. They're gonna roast everyone. Like they don't care who you are to them, who you are not to them, who you are in general. Like we just really like to roast people, and I think that's probably why I made this video, is because I do it from time to time, and by time to time I mean at least. The next sign is the Scorpio. I don't have a ton on the Scorpio, mainly because I don't know a lot of Scorpios. I know two, and they're like completely different people. So to me, like Scorpios, I can't really get a feel for them. I don't know if it's because I just don't know enough or like what, but the things that I have noticed and this is more so about one Scorpio rather than the other, is they're really unstable. Like, unstable AF. And I'm like, fam, get your life together. That's why I don't think I could be with a Scorpio, because Scorpios never seem to have their life together, and I'm like, get it together. Scorpios can be really manipulative. I have only noticed this in one of them, but like sometimes they can be pretty manipulative, and you're like, ooh. Like, you notice it, like, not to you, but like when you're noticing it, them doing it to like another person, you're like, ooh, like that's not cool. Scorpios will basically do like anything to get what they want. And, like, that's not cool at all, and I don't like that about them. It bothers me when people do that, because I don't think it's fair. And Scorpios can be really self-destructive, like, really, really self-destructive, and I'm like, damn, I get that. Like, you might hate yourself right now, but, like, this isn't gonna help it. This is literally gonna make it worse, especially on your mental health, but, like, also I asked one of them, like, thoughts on it, and he literally just told me to put an on fire trash can, so, like, that's from the Scorpio's mouth itself. The next sign is Sagittarius, and I don't even know if I know any Sagittarius. Do I? I might know, like, one. But, like, this is something that, like, everyone, like, I've talked to has kind of said about the Sagittariuses. They are, like, the least dramatic sign, and, like, they aren't a complete pain, which, like, I guess isn't really a roast, but, like, there's a compliment, I guess. Sagittarius, though, are apparently, like, they're really overconfident and superficial and impatient and tactless. So, maybe that's what y'all should work on, is not being so tactless or impatient. Capricorn. I know, I think 2 Capricorn, and the very first thing that, like, both of them are, they are so freaking closed off. And, like, you have to, like, work and work and work. Like, it's more work than any other sign to get into them and be like, hi, let me in. They're just so closed off. And, like, they'll act like they aren't. And I'm like, fam, you, like, literally are, like, the most closed off sign ever. But, like, cool, go off. When they do, like, open up, they are so freaking weird. Like, I don't even know. Like, they're just, and they'll say things that just, like, leave you scratching your head in confusion as, like, what just happened. And to the point that you kind of wish that, like, they didn't open up. Because you're like, I don't really know if I'm, like, ready to be signed up for this. Because, like, you're kind of crazy. But, like, okay. They are, like, pretty quiet around most people that I find. Like, that's what I found. But, like, once you get to know them, they're the loudest person in the room. Like, in the whole universe, probably. Especially, like, when you get them drunk. Oh, my gosh. They're just a lot. Like, you could probably hear them, like, in the next state. And be like, oh, that's the Capricorn. Yeah, they're so loud. They will talk and talk and talk, and it's just like, you don't even really know what you're talking about anymore. You just are, like, listening to them, and you're kind of like, okay. Like, that's at least my experience with them. Like, it's just kind of like, okay, cool. And, like, you try and get out of the conversation, and they, like, drag you back in, and you're like, I just want to go. I'm scared. They also can be, like, really, really pretentious, which, like, not cool. Not cool, fam. Maybe try and work on not being so pretentious. And, like, the last thing I have about them, that, like, I don't know, I feel like it just kind of explains them. Aren't they, like, the goatfish? Like, that's, like, what their, like, symbol looks like. It's, like, a little goatfish. It explains a lot about their weirdness, because, like, what's a goatfish? Like, do we know? Do scientists know what a goatfish is? Because I certainly don't. I've never learned about it in my biology classes. The next sign is the Aquarius, and this is the second to last sign, so, like, we're almost there. Thank you for keeping and watching this. I don't know. So, Aquarii. They are know-it-alls. Like, literally know-it-alls. And you're like they're know-it-alls to the point that it's like, when they talk to you, it's like they're talking down to you, and you're like, I'm not 5, but, like, cool. I once had a doctor who was very much like this, and she was probably an Aquarii, and, like, I was literally, like, 15 or something, and she was, like, talking down to me as if I was, like, a little kid, and I'm like, first of all, I know what you're talking about. Second of all, stop talking to me like I am a literal child, because I don't appreciate it. And they're just, it bothers me. Aquarii also are, like, to go along with the know-it-all, they will think that they're better than you, and they'll make sure that you know that they think you're better than, like, that they are better than you. And it's so annoying, and it pisses me off, because I'm like, first of all, like, none of us are really better than the other person, but, like, we all have character flaws, we all have personality traits that aren't great, we all have issues in our life. Like, you're not better than me just because you're an Aquarii. Shut up. My sister says this. She says that you can't mix an Aquarius and a Leo together because they won't quit trying to prove who's smarter and who's better than the other person. So I think that also goes along with the fact that Aquarii probably have a bit of an ego. Because, like, if you're trying to do that with a Leo, like, you clearly have your own egotism. So I guess if you have friends and one's a Leo, one's an Aquarii, and they've never met, don't mix them. Aquarii are also, like, really low-key obnoxious. Like, I think that goes with the fact that they're know-it-all. So to me, I'm like, you're pretty obnoxious, even though, like, you're trying your best to hide it. Like, you're really obnoxious. So, like, again, shut up. But I think you either love an Aquarius or you hate them. And, like, clearly I don't have great feelings toward an Aquarius, but, like, some of you may, like, love Aquarius. And, I mean, maybe I've just met all the wrong Aquarii. If you're an Aquarius, I'm sorry. Maybe I like you better than the Aquarii that I've met. I think the biggest issue that I have with Aquarius is that you never know where you stand with them. You never do. Like, you just, I don't know why, but they won't ever let you know where you stand with them. And you're like, cool, love that. So the very last sign is Pisces. And I really hope that none of my Pisces watching this will take this personally or as a personal affront or an attack on them, because, like, I'm not really trying for it to be this. It's just what I've noticed about Pisces. Please don't get offended with me, Pisces. Pisces are dramatic AF. So dramatic. They just... They're just really dramatic. I don't have words to describe how dramatic they are. Pisces make everything a personal affront. So like I said, if you are taking this as one, please don't. I love you. You're great. I have a lot of other things that I do like about your sign. But they literally will just take every single thing as a personal affront. And I'm like, fam, it's not, like, I just said I didn't like the granola bar that you liked. Get over it. Like, or you say, like, they say something about, like, their day. Like, oh, like, it was an awful day. And I'm like, oh, like, I'm sorry, like, I had a good day. And they're like, well, I did blah, blah, blah. And you're like, all I said was I had a good day and you did it, I'm sorry. Like, that's what it is to me. If you point out a Pisces flaw, they will literally think that you hate them. And they won't talk to you for, like, 2 months. And you're like, I'm sorry. Won't ever do that again. Like, I didn't know that you were going to get this upset about it. Like, I'm really sorry, but, like, I was just trying to tell you so maybe you could improve your life. You tell me things that I need to improve my life about and my flaws, but as soon as I tell you a flaw, it's like, good lord. Like, this is not the Cold War. We're not standing off against one another, you know? Pisces are also really whiny. Like, I don't know why. I don't know what it is about them. If they all have, like, some sort of trauma that they're dealing with, or they just all, like, never fully grew up. Like, I don't know. But, like, Pisces can be really whiny. I'm sorry. And, like, along with their whininess, like, sometimes they will cry and whine just to get their way. And, like, I don't know if that's what it is. Like, they're not really being whiny, or if they're just, like, doing it to get their way and what they want. Because, like, they'll do it and, like, you get upset. Like, I've had, like, a Pisces do this to me. And, like, I get upset. And so, like, I'll do what they want just, like, I'm not upsetting them anymore. And it's like, I mean, I didn't really want to do it this way. And I didn't really want to do this. But, like, just so that you wouldn't be upset with me or mad at me anymore, I did it, you know? Pisces will throw fits along with, like, the crying and whining when things don't go their way. So, like, if they don't get their way from the whining and the crying, they will throw a major BF. They'll, like, literally throw a fit, and you're like, get over it. Like, you're not 3 anymore. Okay? Like, we need to have a grown-up discussion about it. They're, like, low-key / high-key big babies. And again, to me, it's the fact that, like, they will throw a fit and cry if they don't get their way, and they'll cry just to get their way. I'm like, literally, we're grown-ups. Like, you're not 3. You can't just fall on the ground and throw a temper tantrum. And they low-key, like, can't take care of themselves. Like, it's not good. So, like, if you're a Pisces, that's, like, that's, like, the major thing. Like, if you're one of those Pisces, if you're not an evolved Pisces where you can't take care of yourself, you should probably work on that. Because, like, there are going to be a lot of people who are not going to want to help take care of you. So, my sister also told me to tell Pisces that they need to go to therapy and learn how to grow up. That's not for me, that's from my sister. Please don't come after me for saying that. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and that you didn't get too offended. Personally, like I said, I love these. To me, I personally don't take anything as, like, a personal, like, attack on me when, like, I watch videos like this. Mainly because I just think they're really funny. And I also know a lot of my own character flaws, so, like, especially as a Libra, like I know what I need to work on. But if you did, just know that I do love you, and I'm really not trying to be out here and like hurting your feelings. Like I said, I just think these videos are really funny. I would also really love to do a video of what I love about the zodiac signs and like the different things about them, because I mean that's positivity. We're like, this is kind of negativity, but like I don't know. Like I said, I just really find these videos funny. I will link some of my favorites down below. If I repeated anything they said, I really didn't mean to. I haven't watched them like in like a month ish. So but I'll link like my 2 favorites down below. But like I said, I'm not trying to repeat anything they said, and if I do, it's by coincidence, so I'm really sorry. This is just my personal experience with the zodiac signs. And if any of my friends are watching this and they got upset, I probably did not mean to hurt your feelings. I love how I say probably didn't mean to. Wow. I really wasn't trying to hurt your feelings. Like, these are just things that I've noticed. But I do love all my friends, and I love everyone who's watching this, no matter what your zodiac sign is, even if you're an Aquarius. I just... Like I said, I probably just have not had good experience with like the 2 or 3 Aquarii that I know. If you did enjoy this video and you would like to see more information or more things that I just have to say about the zodiac signs, please give it a big thumbs up, and you can hit the subscribe button down below. Look, that even tells you to subscribe. If you're not like subscribed already, you should follow the signs advice. You can hit the red subscribe button down below and the bell icon next to it to be notified every single time that I post, so that you will never miss a single video of me and whatever antics I get up to or want to talk about, you know? And then you can also hit the subscribe button up here. Yeah, you can hit the subscribe button up here right above this beautiful sign. And then I will link 2 other videos over here for you to go and watch for your viewing pleasure. And I will see you all next week, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, no matter what your zodiac sign is, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys!